Welcome to Just a Dude podcast, where real conversations meet big ideas. I'm your host, Nathan, here to dive into the stories, debates, and headlines shaping our world, from unpacking hot-button topics like immigration and cryptocurrency to exploring innovative ideas in entrepreneurship, personal development, and more. This is your space for thought-provoking dialogue and genuine insight. Whether you're a curious listener or just a dude looking for answers, pull up a chair and join the conversation. Let's get into it. Today, we're excited to welcome a truly inspiring guest, Alisa St. After an early retirement from her career as an executive assistant, Alisa has set out on a journey to live life on her own terms. Fueled by a desire to be her own boss and develop her leadership skills, she discovered network marketing. This is a path that not only fulfilled those dreams, but also opened doors to incredible personal and professional growth. Alisa's story is one of transformation, resilience, the power of entrepreneurship. Get ready to hear how she's built a life of freedom, success, and purpose. Welcome, Alisa.
Thanks for having me, Nathan.
Thanks for being on the show. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey?
Sure. I've always had that entrepreneurial spirit, but I ended up taking a different path in life. I got married young, had a family, stayed home, and then found myself in a position where I had to go to work full time and got into that 9-to-5 grind. And those dreams kind of fade away when you're busy all day long and you leave when it's dark, come home when it's dark. That's kind of where I was in the year 2019.
Yeah, and then you're coming not only from a 9-to-5 job, but you're being a parent, which is a full-time job.
Of course. Yeah.
Well, you said your journey started in 2019, so obviously I'm going to think that this is around COVID time and some things changed. So do you want to go into a little bit about that?
Sure. So we were unexpectedly sent home to work, and being a disciplined person, I was able to get plenty of my work done with time to spare. And I found out that there actually is such a thing as work-life balance, and found that I really enjoyed working from home, the freedom to control my own schedule and take advantage of spontaneous, amazing weather days and that kind of thing.
I had the same aspect to me. I've been working in IT for a while, and we got sent home as well. And you do realize a new work-life balance, but not only do you have a work-life balance, but it actually opens up other opportunities, which I guess is what led you to network marketing, right?
Exactly. I had never heard of network marketing when I started, and I started that in 2023. So between 2020 and 2023, I had a dream, but I didn't know exactly how that was going to play out. And I have an amazing, supportive husband who encouraged me to retire early. I was eligible. I had no real plan. And, one income was a stretch. So it was definitely a leap of faith to leave that secure state position that I had without having really any plan. It was just an internal knowing that there was so much more to life, and I knew that I was destined for something else.
Yeah, and that's awesome that you had a spouse at home that was actually supporting you. And really, what's the point of having a spouse if they're not going to support us?
Yeah,
So,
it's priceless.
Yeah. It truly is. I know I'm in the same way that my wife, we've been together for a while, and she's supportive of the things that I do and vice versa. And I think we couldn't be as successful as we are without our other folks in our lives.
Absolutely. Yes.
So do you want to tell us a little bit about network marketing and what it is?
Sure. What I found out was there were many products and services that I've used throughout my life that were being advertised through word of mouth marketing. And I had no idea at the time that it was actually a business model. I just thought, hey, I'm buying Avon, I'm buying Tupperware, right? They're great products that I enjoy. And it never really was brought to my attention that I could build a business around it. From what I knew, people just became a representative to get some free stuff, essentially, right? Which is very
little
different.
Extra things, right?
Yeah, very different from building a business. So I landed in LifeWave by accident in network marketing, and I had no idea it was network marketing. It just resonated with me. There was an amazing community. There was support. I knew I could be my own boss, and it checked off all those little boxes for me. And I jumped in really before I knew much. I rely a lot on my intuition. And when something feels right for me, I just go for it, you know?
Yeah, that's great that you have that intuition that can help you get that way. And so what if someone else was looking to get into network marketing, what is there a path that they can follow? Or, obviously there's the entrepreneurial spirit with this as well, right?
Yes, of course. You have to have a particular mindset. Most people do this on the side, so it's never recommended that you just jump into something that, is going to take some time to build. There's no such thing as easy money, right? Because that's not an accurate description of how building a business works in any respect. And so most people start off with discovering a product or a service that they think is so fantastic that they're willing to share it with others and they feel comfortable representing that company. So there's some important things to consider. You want to get to know the leadership, the mission of the company, what it stands for. And if those things all align with you and you love the product or service, it just makes sense to share it with people that you care about.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it needs that entrepreneurial spirit, right? Because you're essentially building a business and being your own boss. How would someone know if they have that spirit? What are some key takeaways that someone could say, hey, you know what? Maybe I am an entrepreneur.
Sure. Well, I, as a kid, loved to make money. So it was an exciting thing for me to create something out of nothing and to be able to make money doing it. So my creative juices were always going as to how could I solve a problem for somebody and fill a need and create money. Because as a kid, that's so enticing to you. You can go buy an ice cream or whatever it may be. And we were raised in an environment, and I think most of our families didn't have a lot of extra. And we were encouraged to have paper routes or lemonade stands or, all those little things that we found were really helpful for us to make a dollar here and there. So I would just say like an excitement about creating something, leadership, if you find yourself not being totally the employee that just does what's being asked and you're constantly thinking of a better way to do something. You take ownership and responsibility, self conscious and conscientious about the work that you do. You hold yourself to very high standards. Those might be some signs that that you're a good leader and that you can build something from the ground up.
Yeah. So like you said, you definitely, I like that. You want to create something out of nothing, right? You got to have a good mindset, resourcefulness, be able to, you got to like to earn money, right? That's a whole thing. And that's great. What happened to us? Because a lot of us did that as kids, right? I was the same way. My parents didn't have a lot of money when we were growing up. They were both working. And then I had to find ways to make money on my own because they're the extra things that I wanted. So how do we get back into that mindset, or what happened to us over the course of time?
Well, I know that most of us just get busy paying the bills and we forget about our dreams. And, we just get so tired of making ends meet and fulfilling the needs of our family. Think about like in the 50s, one spouse could work and have a home and a car and go on vacation. And that's not the case anymore. So we just have gotten so, strapped with burdens and debt and everything like that. It makes it hard to step out of the survival mode into the thriving mode. And so COVID stopped everything for a moment and people had a second to breathe, second to kind of look around. They're just spending more time with their families. And it was a great opportunity for people like me to get the courage up to say, hey, I think this is a good time to make a transition. Seems like a natural thing to do at a time like this.
Yeah. So, and with this, I mean, just like we're talking about, we can still uncover that entrepreneurial spirit today, right? And enjoy the benefits of network marketing. Because like you said, it's something you could do anytime you want, right?
That's right. That's right. Yep. This is something that most people do on the side and that they build up over time in hopes to have an exit strategy for the career that they're in maybe, or just something that they're always going to do on the side because the network that they have in their day job or their career is a great resource for them to be able to build that business. And they can use that to their advantage. But of course, yeah, that's the beauty of it. Network marketing is available to anybody at any time. It's a level playing field. There are no particular requirements to join. It's a very, very low investment. And overhead. So the thing that's best about it is it's accessible to everybody. And that's not always the case anymore.
Yeah, and with the network marketing, are we, is it just marketing goods, or are we marketing services, or is it really anything that you want to market as an individual?
Well, you'd find a company that is set up with that business structure. I'm not super familiar with ones that offer services, but I know there are some that offer like health share services and that kind of
Sure.
thing. But I know probably mostly product driven. So you find a company and a product that you are using already and you love and you're getting fantastic results from, and you become a brand partner or a representative or whatever the company terms it, and you start digging in. Some companies obviously are going to have more support than others. And yeah,
Yeah, I assume probably, well, maybe not bigger, the bigger the company, the more support, because sometimes we find that companies get too big and don't like to, don't have the support or the time or the resources, even when they're too big. But I have to assume that each company is going to be different, and it's just going to be based on what your likes are. And I think you've called that out, that's kind of nice, that you kind of get an idea that you're just not marketing something. You're marketing something you use every day.
of course. Yeah.
So why would a company choose network marketing as their business model?
Well, my understanding is that most companies are looking for a product to throw into a network marketing model. And so my understanding is that it's simply a way for them to be able to leverage that product and develop a system so that people can share it. I'm not sure, honestly, the economic reasons for one type of model versus another. I can speak to the company that I'm with. It was potentially going to be products that were shared like in a GNC type of store environment. And
Like a health supplement store
exactly.
type thing?
Yep. And our inventor and founder found himself coming into contact and networking with some amazing people and realized that he had gotten as far as he had gotten through networking with people and word of mouth. And he realized that it would be a disservice to use any other model when he could see
Sure.
clearly that it was super beneficial.
Right. And why not have people market your product that actually use it?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes the best marketing, like you said, word of mouth, or us getting out there and saying things. I know I've inadvertently marketed things for people
Of course.
just because I use it,
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that's great to know. And if you think about it, looking at some of the notes that you sent me, you don't have to worry about your employee benefits. You don't have to worry about limiting the size of the sales force. So it's a pretty good strategy when you think about it. There's no brick and mortar, so your entry level costs are going to be pretty minimal, I assume.
Yes. Yeah. Of course. And for the product that I share, like this patch here, you could put it on a shelf somewhere, but no one would know what it is. It's not a supplement. It's not a shake. It's not, an obvious product that people are familiar with.
Yeah. So what do you think some of the benefits are of someone getting into network marketing?
Oh my gosh, there's so many benefits. I've found so many incredible benefits that I wasn't expecting. The community is incredibly supportive and uplifting. So I've never been in a business environment where helping the people around you lifts everybody up. And the more I help the people that join under me, the better we all do. So there's no competition. And I love that. It's only cooperative. And that's been like a very unusual environment for me. The environment is very self-development oriented, positive mindset. I've never been in sales of any sort, so I didn't really understand the importance of the mindset in your sharing, because it can make a huge difference in how you come across to people, even though you're genuine. But if you feel like you're bothering somebody, that comes across instead of the confidence. And so the community really helps to build your confidence, to help you develop yourself and kind of get rid of some limiting beliefs that you might have. So the community has been incredible. The opportunity to experience and share with people something that they may not otherwise know about is a privilege and an honor. we get to earn incentive trips. So I've done some traveling, which is really fun. They're all inclusive trips that we earn, but more importantly, we're traveling with people that we've worked online with most of the time, and we get to see people in person. So there's opportunities to come together for fun and self-development and training. There's such a low investment and low overhead that you could never start another business like this. It's kind of like a franchise with zero obligation, but all the benefits. So no one's going to force you to go to Subway University, or no one's going to force you to do the training. It's up to you, but you get the benefits.
You don't have to pay that huge franchise fee either.
Exactly.
Right? And which takes you years to pay off before you even start making money for yourself.
Yes. So pros and cons with that, right? Because if you're only investing a small amount of money, your mindset might be, well, I don't know how much time I want to put into this. And if I lose a couple $1,000s, who cares, right? So we tell people, no matter what you invest, think of it as $1 million investment, and you'll develop $1 million business.
And that comes back kind of to like the mindset that you were talking about before, with having that positive mindset and thinking big and thinking or knowing, I don't want to say thinking, but knowing that you have what it takes to do it. And that's, kind of the mindset that we need to get into with network marketing and really anything in life.
Yep. Kind of get out of our own way most of the time.
And you said not having a lot of competition, and really the only competition that you would have would be yourself, right? So
Correct.
If there's numbers you want to, if you had good numbers last month and you want to beat those, you're not competing against other people that are doing the same marketing. You're just competing against yourself, which is kind of nice.
Even with the incentive trips and bonuses, those are not limited to a certain number of people. So if you earn it, you earn it. So there's not even competition there to beat anybody out.
Yeah.
It's great.
So why would you say network marketing is such a powerful business model?
Because it's accessible to everybody. I think that's the number one takeaway, is that, so many times people are prevented from accessing many different things in life because they don't have the money, or they don't have the education, or they don't have the connections. And this is really literally a level playing field. So anybody can come in at any age, any race, from any country, speaking any language, and make a go of this. And it's accessible to everybody. So that, to me, is the number one benefit.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing, because if you think about it, I'm just going to throw a name out there. Of course, we're not sponsored by this or anybody like that, but, say you wanted to sponsor Nike. Well, guess what? You got to be a big athlete, right? To do that.
Of course.
This network marketing, the way you're talking about, means that just the average Joe, or just a dude like myself, can just get into it, right? Very little overhead, benefits of the traditional business without the risk. And like you said, just having access to proven products that are already out there. You don't have to create it yourself.
Yep. And I get to work alongside multi-millionaires. I get to learn their secrets. I get to share their table. They're, generous with their time and their information and their support, their encouragement. And that's not typical for other industries, right? You're not going to sit and have a meal and get the inside scoop. Duplicate their system, and you duplicate their results.
Exactly. And I can tell you how many times I've sat down with the CEOs of the companies that I've worked for in the past, and that's zero. Yeah, exactly. Look at that. Even being a working person like myself, you don't get that access that you do to other people that are willing to help other people's out. And I'm not knocking CEOs. We know that CEOs of large corporations are always busy, but this gives you an opportunity to be your own CEO, essentially.
Yeah, and those people actually want you to do as well as possible. If you succeed and you even supersede what they're making, they're still benefiting. They're benefiting more from your success, whereas the CEO doesn't necessarily benefit personally.
Yeah. So are there other benefits or advantages to joining a network marketing company?
Let's see. We talked about setting our own schedule, right? So I can work when I want. I can work where I want. As a matter of fact, I'm taking a month off from the cold in Connecticut, going to Florida. I'm going to expand my business down there.
Nice.
So I get to, control my time and my location and have more control over my life. And I'm able to be at family events when I need to, share important milestones that if I were working 9 to 5, I might have to miss.
Right.
that's a huge, a huge benefit right there.
And I noticed in some of the notes that, we looked at before, but I noticed in here you have it's a smart move or tax advantages to a home-based business. Have you been able to take advantage of that yourself?
Yeah. I mean, think about it. You have existing lifestyle expenses that you're using every single day, your home, your car, your phone, your internet. But once you start an at-home business, you meet the IRS requirements of, number one, intending to create revenue, and number two, engaging in regular activity to do so. Then those activities and expenses that are already there now become a business expense to be deducted. Yeah. So your phone, use my internet, a portion of my home, and all of the expenses associated with that. I can, take trips, all of the training and the trips that I'm taking for business.
Yeah.
Meals.
Even your personal trips, right? If you can still work while you're on a personal trip if you wanted to, because you can work from anywhere.
And I talk to everybody, the new Uber driver, the stewardess, the person who checks me in at the hotel. I'm always talking. So
that's
I'm always
amazing.
trying to,
I kind of do the same thing with the podcast. The best way to get it out there is to tell people about it. If I don't talk about it, no one's going to know. So
yeah, exactly.
No, and that's great. And, I'll put this out here to kind of cover you and myself, but if you're going to have a home-based business, make sure you get yourself referred to a tax professional to make sure you're doing everything well, which I'm sure you do, Alisa. But I just didn't want to put you on the spot where someone's like, Alisa said, no. She's not a tax professional. So make sure you check with your CPA or your tax professional before you do any type of deductions. But I just, we got to get that stuff out of the way. I don't funny saying, they told me.
I guess the other thing that, that I haven't said clearly is in most businesses, it's going to take years for you to, create an ROI and get your money back. But these businesses are such a low investment that you can do it within a day. I mean, I've seen people do it in an hour. They talk to people before they sign up. They already know they've got some people ready to go. They sign up their friends, and they've got their return on investment immediately and profit after that.
Yeah, exactly. If you've got your investment returned to you, then everything else is cheddar in the bank, right?
Yeah. So I won't say that this is easy. It's simple. It's not easy, but when you can get a paycheck immediately, it's certainly encouraging and helps you to, to move forward a lot more easily than knowing it's going to take you 3 years to break even.
You know what? That's a great comment right there, Alisa, is that you said it's simple, but it's not easy. You get out of it what you put into it, right?
Yep, of course.
Well, Alisa, can you tell folks how they can get in touch with you for more information?
Yeah, I like to connect with people on Facebook. It's my personal page. Like I said, I'm not a salesperson. I've not been in the industry. I haven't been, I'm not a used car salesman or anything like that. So I'm just a person. And so I use my personal page to share my experience and encourage people with motivational, posts and inspirational types of stories about my experience. So
nice.
My Facebook, I think you'll put the link up there.
I will.
So I don't have a personal website or anything, but we also have a website to the products that I share and that I promote, and people can take a look at that and see if there's something that's interesting to them.
Can you say that website?
Sure. It's thisisit.info.
Excellent. This is at info.com, and you can see that on the screen right here. And also, for all those listening, Alisa's information is on justadudepodcast.com under our show guests section, so you can see her information there with all her links, and that's available to you at any time that you want it.
So much, Nathan.
Well, thank you. Well, that's a wrap for this episode of Just a Dude Podcast. Huge thanks to our guest, Alisa St. for sharing her journey and insights into creating a life of freedom and growth through network marketing. Her story really reminds us that it's never too late to embrace change, pursue your passions, and take charge of your future. If today's conversation sparked something in you, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share the podcast with someone who needs to hear it. Follow us on social media and stay updated on upcoming episodes and join the conversation. Until next time, stay curious, stay driven, and remember, you've got the power to live life on your own terms. Catch you later.